Now, this part is very important. Depending on your situation, obviously that is a massive patch. I don't know how big the person was that went through that ceiling, but I'm even surprised that somebody that big got up there. That's no shade, this is for the boys. Santa Claus came early, except he wasn't going through chimneys and shit. He went through the plasterboard. Check this out, right? So, these are buttons, these are buttons. I put up buttons, laser level, everything is perfect. So I'm gonna add buttons up there because I already have buttons. But if it was timber, you would do something similar to this. All you're trying to do now is reinforce that ceiling because that space is just massive. It's a patch, it's loose. So I'm gonna get my buttons and I'm gonna do it this way because that's the situation that I'm in. Here, I'm gonna add one more in the middle, like this. I'm gonna get the clips, similar to the ones that I've got up there. But then I've cut the buttons a little bit long. So these are 1400. The patch that we're doing is about a meter. So 1400, it goes past the actual cut itself. Now, you can't tell how far it went past because you can't see it. You can either feel it, or what you can actually do is, I'm gonna mark roughly 200 on one side of the button. 200, I'm gonna get my buttons back up in there and put my line on the plaster like that. Now I should have 200 that way and roughly 200 that way. I'm gonna put the clips back in. Everything was leveled. I'm gonna get my level. I'm gonna sit it on my two buttons, not on the plaster, on the buttons. Try and make sure I'm touching. I'm gonna bang my clip in so it holds it for me. I'm gonna do the same thing this side. This button, make sure it's touching. Just like that. When I'm finished, I'm gonna screw the clip so it never has to move again a day in its life. If you're curious on how to screw clips and button a ceiling, I have videos on that on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Now that we're here, I'm gonna screw my plaster onto the button, right? Chuck a couple of screws there, another one here. Do the same thing over here. So I'm gonna do that everywhere, right? But before I get too carried away, I'm even gonna be generous and put another button up here. I changed guns. Now that that part is done, I want to grab my gun because I have it. This video is not sponsored by Hilti, but shout out Hilti. If you can make the job a lot easier for yourself, why not do so? I got a strip of screws, makes it easier for me to screw what I need to screw. I don't have to go through a lot of nonsense to get it done. But if you don't have a choice, you gotta do what you have to do. I forgot this bad boy is here. Now, what we did this way was to reinforce these two sides. And I did that to reinforce this side, even though it's not really needed, right? But we have to do the same thing on this side because it's a little bit loose. You can get little baby timbers or baby clips like this. We're gonna stick it behind there like that. So I got one there, through here, another one here, one more here. And all we're doing here is we're gonna screw these in. You can use timber, but I'm using metal today. You think this person screwed up. When you put on clips, you gotta watch your fingers. The screw is long enough to go past the actual length or width of the clip on the top. If you're not careful, you could screw up, and I guarantee you, you're not gonna enjoy that. So watch your fingers if you ever work with clips like this. Now that's how you screw up. I wanna finish screwing everything. Just like that. Now that we're finished, next step is we're gonna measure the new piece and we're gonna go cut it. So I got my piece cut, but if you come a little bit close, you'll notice a couple of things. Because we cut it, we're gonna get a little bit of bumps and lumps along the plasterboard, and that's okay because that's normal. But what's not normal is that you're gonna go try to put it up and it's not gonna fit because you got the bumps and lumps and stuff like that. Because I measured everything tight, what I like to do is I like to V the back of it like this. Cutting just the back and not the front, going inwards, creating a nice V. And that's gonna do two things for me. One, the first thing that it will do for me is that it's gonna mean my measurements are exactly from the face to the face, what I measured and cut it at. That's that. But because it's a renovation or because it's a patch, The thing about this is that even though I'm the one that marked everything, it might not go according to plan. And by me Ving the back like this, if I need to trim anything to make it fit, it's gonna be a lot easier because all I gotta do is just cut the face of it because the back is already V'd. You understand? In a situation like this, I actually like to put glue back up there, but I don't have glue. I also would like to put back block. That I will do. I don't have glue, so I'm gonna rely on the screw. I'm gonna add a little bit more screws than I would normally do. I'm gonna sit this piece down. When I come back to the cutting board, in order for us to pull back block without jumping back on the ceiling and going through it, is that we like to do it before we put the piece up. So for that, we're gonna go outside and mix up some plastering compound that isn't back block, but base compound, because back block is very expensive and it is not worth it for you or me to go spend $60 on a bag just to back block 3 pieces. You understand? I got some base compound, 45 minutes. That just went on the ground. I needed all that. I didn't know you had to hold it. It's very funny because I actually need this. So I'm gonna just pick it up off the ground. Voila. Now if you come up here, you're gonna notice a couple of things. I have a trowel like this. I have a 6-inch. I have a 3-inch. I have pepper tape, fiber fuse. I have the base compound, and I got the back block up here. I've got the gun and everything I need by my side. So don't try me. You understand? I'm gonna get the 6-inch, get the base compound, but it should be back block if you can get back block. I'm gonna put that on to the block like this. And what I like to do with this is I like to put them on like this, stick them together, and then peel them apart. It's gonna give me a little bit of texture. If I can put it in there, I'm gonna put it in there. The way back block works is very simple. Similar to glue, this does all the background stuff. On this side over here, there used to be a joint along here, but right here there's back block there. That's holding the joint from the top, making it stronger from the top, as well as when you tape the joint. So I'm gonna add back block like this to create the same effect up there. And usually I would have drops of glue on this, but like I said, I didn't bring glue for some reason. And so we're gonna hang the plasterboard like that. When I get the piece I cut before, I'm gonna see the way it needs to be set. Now for this, if we can slide behind the old plasterboard, we should. And if we can't, then it's okay. Oh, wow. What is this? Something happened. This is not supposed to happen, but it did. Now look at this. I'm gonna do some dodgy shit real quick. Just give me a sec. And I get from there to there. It's very funny because I don't know what happened. Now if I had a big piece to replace this piece, I would, but I don't have a big piece to replace that piece. Let's try this again. Technically it's up. We're gonna store it. As much as that shouldn't happen, it did happen. There's not much we can do about it right now, except to fix it. If I had a big piece, I would cut a new piece, make sure it's perfect, this and that, but I'm not gonna do that because I don't have a piece to cut. So I'm forced to use some funny stuff like this in order to make it work. And for that, I wanna get a little bit of base compound. Just chuck it up there. Just because I can't screw very much of this. Look at that, it fits perfectly. Everything was just upside down backwards. The mic is dead. It's as if it never happened. Very good.